Welcome you now to another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. A very, very special episode. So make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. A Christmas episode on location. We're at La Cabrona in Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to be talking to Leena. She is the COO, and has an amazing story, not only of her, but her entire family being involved in the restaurant industry. And now to the episode. Leena, hola.
Hola.
Thank you so much for having us in your beautiful space. We are in location, La Cabrona in Fort Worth. La dirección, specifically?
2933 Crockett Street.
In the Artisan Circle.
Artisan Circle.
Artisan
Yes, sir.
Circle. Awesome. Thank you so much for giving us a beautiful space. This freaking place is amazing. Even the first time that I came here about a year ago doing a ribbon cutting with the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber, I thought it was pretty neat. I know we briefly talked, but I'm like, one of these days we'll do something special.
Yes.
And today's the day.
Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. But before we get started, we're going to do Preguntas al Chile. If you have not subscribed to the channel, if you have not checked out some of the stories that we have of these amazing Latinos doing amazing things in the community, this is the opportunity to go ahead and subscribe right now. ¿Estás lista? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tacos o tortas?
Tacos.
Corn tortillas or flour tortillas? Gorditas de horno or pupusas?
Gorditas.
Good. A lot of people go for pupusas. Cabrito al pastor or carne asada estilo regio?
Carne asada, for
Carne
sure.
asada?
Yes.
Jarrito de qué sabor?
Jarritos. I like fruit punch or naranja. One of those two.
Good. Agua de horchata, jamaica, or tamarindo?
Or no, I'm sorry, Jamaica. Jamaica is probably the one I go for.
I like
more.
jamaica too. Have you ever had jamaica and limonada together, like half and
No,
half?
but that sounds good.
It's bomb. Highly recommend it. Salsa verde or salsa roja? Which team are you?
I think I am salsa roja.
Salsa roja. Wow, neat. Menudo or pozole?
Pozole, for sure.
Valentina, Tabasco, Cholula, or Tapatio hot sauce?
Valentina, maybe sometimes tapatio, but mostly Valentina.
What is your most favorite dish de Monterrey?
De Monterrey, I remember as a young girl, we would go get cabrito, and that was like a really special treat for us. The whole family would go get cabrito. But I don't know. I think for me, anytime I would go visit like my tias, they would always cook something, whether it was like albóndigas, sopa de albóndigas, or caldo de res, whatever we used to cook at home. Those are always nostalgic for me, and those are always my favorite go-to plates.
Heck yeah, absolutely. So whenever you're, how about your Lebanon, your best Lebanon dish that you like, enjoy?
Well, when my grandmother was here, God rest her soul, she used to make these stuffed like stuffed squash. She stuffs them with beef or lamb and rice.
Right.
And then they cook it in like a tomato broth almost, and it has like some dry mint. I don't know how to even say the dish in Arabic, but it's just something that I always grew up eating, and it's one of my favorite things.
That's
to
awesome.
The day.
That's awesome.
So.
Okay, so for anybody that's wants to try La Cabrona and the menu, what should they try out? They must definitely try this out. What would that be?
I think my personal favorite here, and I eat this literally every single day, is our mole. Our mole is not like the traditional sweet, dark chocolatey mole. It's more savory, has a little bit of a kick to it. So it's really, really good. Like, it's one of my favorite moles that I've ever tried.
And everybody should try it.
And everybody should try it. But if you're not a mole fan, our carne asada is definitely like our most popular dish that we have.
I was gonna ask what is your to go to, but I kind of
It's the
sort of
mole.
already know the
Yeah,
mole.
that's
Have to
I
try
always
it.
recommend it because it's my
Yeah.
favorite thing, and I eat it every day, and I don't get tired of
Yeah.
it.
About mole for me is like the spicy one. It's not the sweet
Yeah,
one. I don't like the sweet one. I
and
like
I
the
think
spicy one.
sweet is more common
Yeah,
than
yeah,
mole.
for sure, for sure. When you want to celebrate, let's say you're planning to open up another location here very soon, or you have a win and you want to dance. Do you like cumbia, salsa, merengue, bachata, or maybe another genre of music? What would that be?
No, I think you hit them all. Definitely cumbias are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Bachata for sure. Salsa. We dance everything. I
Todo.
mean, yeah, my mom taught us really young to love to music, and she used to always in the car blast
Yeah.
all kinds of songs. So even the old school, um, what's it called? Like
La Sonora Dinamita, and all them.
all of that,
That's cool. I
and
like that.
even Jenny Rivera,
Yeah.
Rocio
Durcan.
Durcal.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those artists, my mom used to listen to them in the car.
She
So
put you on game for
she
sure.
did.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she taught me all about
Yeah.
music.
When you hear the word Latino, Latina, Latinx, what is the very first thing that comes to mind to you?
Well, I think it just to me it's just the culture
Yeah.
itself is really powerful. You know, I think we are really all connected in
Right.
some way, shape, or form. And we all kind of grew up, very family oriented. We
Right.
listen to our parents, but more than that, we enjoy life, you know, in such a vibrant way that not every culture does.
I
I
mean,
think,
just look around for a
yeah, I
second.
think Latin culture is just so full of life. I mean, we bring each other together through food. I just remember growing up, like our community, when
Hmm.
we did live in Mexico for a small period, there was a lady on the corner who made the tortillas. There was another lady on the other side who she maybe made salsas. Everybody had their specialty, and
Right.
as a community, as a neighborhood, you share that with your neighbors, and
That's
I think
awesome.
that's something really beautiful.
It is very much,
And
yeah.
that's kind of how Latin culture is. It's all about, we don't always have everything, but we want to show love
Right.
in ways that are, you know, either through food, through dance, through gathering. It's just a very vibrant and lively culture. And when I think of Latino culture, I'm very proud to be a part of that.
Do you consider yourself Latina?
I do.
Don't mind if somebody says Latina? Would you prefer another
I
term?
do prefer, I mean, I do consider myself more Latina than anything else, I think. Even though I do have roots elsewhere and I was born here, just being fluent in Spanish, living in Mexico for some time, being able to visit my family in Mexico, it's really made me feel close to the culture and to the name.
Awesome.
So being Latina is something that I've always told people I'm Mexican. I'm proud to be Mexican.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with a little bit of your history for yourself.
Yes.
So, as you were saying, you're Mexican and Lebanese,
Yes.
and you were first generation here in Texas.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. For as far as your parents, do they have any interesting story, or have they made their way to the U.S. at all? Your mom or your dad?
Yeah, I think so. My mom and my dad both came here around, the age of 16, 17.
Wow, young.
So my mom actually finished high school here in Texas, and I want to say she was maybe in Houston when she first moved over here.
Oh wow.
So she finished high school here, started college, didn't necessarily finish college, but she kind of started her path here. Um, I don't really know why she moved over to the States. I'm sure it's just for better opportunity and just for
Of
a better
course.
life.
Mm.
And at that point, she already had some of her family members over here, living over here. So I think she just kind of followed, her family, her mom.
Yeah.
Her dad eventually came over. Her siblings were already over here studying. So they just kind of came for better opportunity. And for my dad, he came over around the same time, but he came over pretty much just to study for college.
Mm.
And he didn't have any intention of, really staying here, but eventually you know, he ended up staying. He opened his own business at like 19 years old.
Oh wow.
So at 19, he opened his first restaurant with his brother and my grandmother. So it's been, you know, family owned and operated since then.
Since 19 years old, when he
Since
was 19 years old.
1989 is when he
1989.
opened.
Wow,
Yes.
amazing. Okay, so for you growing up in a little bit of a different culture, you're seeing the very Mexican side and the very Lebanese side.
Mhm.
How was it like for you, like when you were here in the States first?
You know, it was pretty balanced, I
Yeah.
would say. My mom would take us to go visit her parents, which lived in Flower Mound, so it wasn't too far of a drive.
Yeah.
And, you know, once or twice a week. And same thing on Sundays, we would go visit my dad's family, my dad's parents, and
Yeah.
all the aunts and uncles would gather. So they're both very family oriented cultures. We both express our love, you know, through just being together and food, and you know, that's how we've always grown up. It might just be my family in general. We're just big foodies.
We like food.
Yeah, we
We
love
like food
food.
too. We very much love food so
We
much.
love
Yeah.
food. So there's definitely that in common.
Yeah.
Differences, I will say, you know, Lebanese culture, and it might just again be my family. I remember my grandfather being really strict on all of us and wanting us to do a certain way. He wanted us to make sure we were at church every Sunday. So he was just more so like very, you know, make sure you're doing the right things, stay
Right.
on your path. And with the Mexican side, there's that also, but I think we enjoy our life
Right.
a lot more.
Yeah, we get a little more freedom sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're even though they were from Lebanon, a lot of the area usually is Muslim. They actually
We
were not.
actually were raised Christian,
Oh,
yes.
okay,
So
awesome.
we're part of the Christian Lebanese community.
Yeah.
Back home in Lebanon, there's different villages, and every village has their religion. They really coexist, which is nice. I know there's other countries surrounding that. It's not that free. It's not
Mm,
that easy to be
yeah.
able to practice the religion you
True that.
want. So I've always grown up Christian, very, very Catholic on both sides.
Yeah.
So that was always something that was really important to
So,
both sides of my family.
something interesting about Lebanon has some of the most beautiful women in the
Mhm.
world, but it's tied to Mexico. They have like el trompo.
Yeah.
To my understanding,
Mhm.
that's how el pastor,
Shawarma. Yep.
tacos al pastor, came to be, where there were
A
some
Lebanese
immigrants.
guy came over and
Yeah.
brought it. Yes.
It's interesting how we're still somewhat connected,
Yes,
you know?
it is.
And it's
It is.
still, every taqueria serves it, and some don't realize that it came from Lebanon or
There's
some
actually
guy.
a really big Arabic community in Monterrey
Oh, wow.
where I mean, I'm sure there's more everywhere.
Yeah.
But even in Monterrey, there's a pretty big Arabic community there.
Awesome. So you say you get an opportunity to go to Mexico and be in Mexico for a little while.
I
Do you remember
do.
how old you were? And
Yes.
what are those more fond memories, those more memories that take you back and be like, oh, this is pretty neat?
Well, we moved there when I was 2, and then I didn't move back until I was 7.
Oh,
So I
wow.
lived there for 5 years, and then even after that, I would go back every summer.
Mm.
I remember, oh, there's so many things. I mean, I remember going to downtown with my grandmother and seeing, you know, the we have a Barrio Antiguo. It's kind of like on
Yeah.
Sundays they kind of do a flea market
Oh,
in the
neat.
neighborhood, and they have everybody selling whatever they made, handmade stuff.
Yes.
Sometimes it's little carritos de fruta, de elote, whatever, you know, they little street food.
Of course.
So I do remember that. I love going back, and it's funny because my mom remembers the names of the families who are running the carts.
Wow.
So if there's an elote cart in a certain neighborhood, she remembers even whose family it is still running it.
That's neat.
And it's generations,
Yeah.
you know, that are passed down, that it's still the same family.
Tell her to let us know the trick to be able to help to remember. So good.
She's good with names.
Yeah.
She's good with names and faces. She'll be like, "Was your mom so and so?" And and the lady looked like nomás nos queda viendo like, "How do you know that? ¿Cómo sabes?" And my mom, oh, when I was little, I used to come to your mom here,
Oh, that's
you
awesome.
know?
So once you get here to the States, is it like a shock to you? Do you know English, the language? Is it a barrier for
I
you?
knew English. I went to a private school in Mexico where
Nice.
they taught us English and French,
Oh, wow.
actually. So my first couple years of school, I was taking English classes. I spoke English at home with my dad as well.
Hmm.
Even though he became fluent in Spanish eventually, I did also speak English with him as well at home. So I do remember coming and I was in ESL classes. I
Mm.
had to take English as a second language when I came to school here. And I don't think I needed it, but I was just so shy and so used to speaking in Spanish that that's just what I naturally wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I had to come back and I had to be in ESL classes for the whole year when I got back just to kind of get me used to speaking in English.
Did
And
you land it here in the Fort Worth area, Dallas
it
area,
was Dallas.
DFW?
Yeah, it was North Dallas, and Plano
Okay.
is where I grew up.
Okay. So during this time, I don't know if your dad is already doing other restaurants because there was Alibaba in
Yes.
Greenville many years ago.
Mhm.
I don't know if you already were involved with like helping out or part of the
Not
family business
yet.
at all.
Not yet. I did not get involved until maybe high school.
Mm.
So when I was about 14 years old, I went to work with my dad every single day for a whole summer. And I would
That was
get
at Alibaba?
that was at an Alibaba. It was the Irving location at the time because
Mm.
we had a Greenville, but he did grow his locations. He
Wow.
he ended up having maybe like 5 or 6, maybe even more, like seven or eight at one point
Wow.
before pre-COVID. Obviously COVID was a hard hit for a lot of small businesses, but
Hmm.
I started at about 14, and I remember I would make like maybe $50-$60 a day working, bussing tables, hosting, whatever I needed. But I was there from when we open till close,
Hmm.
Monday through Friday,
Wow.
every day during the summer. I would get my weekends off to go do stuff with my mom, but most of the time it was cleaning at home. Saturdays in the Latino household is
Put the music on, baby.
put the
Put the freaking what's that
yeah,
called?
it's cleaning day.
That whatever detergent that they put that you
Yeah,
can smell.
fabuloso.
Fabuloso. I mean, you already know the vibes.
Yeah, it's
You ain't have
cleaning
to.
day on Saturdays, and
Yeah,
then Sundays was always like our family day or our rest day.
it's cool. So before that, before you got to start working, what were you into in school? Was there anything in particular that stood out that you kind of like,
I
enjoy
like
doing?
sports. I
Mm.
did play a few sports. I played softball, volleyball. I tried soccer. I tried basketball. I tried everything. I really liked it all. I loved music.
Oh wow.
I took singing lessons from when I was a little girl till when I graduated
So you
high
can carry
school.
a tune?
I can carry a tune, believe it or
Nice.
not.
Maybe we'll get something today.
Not today, but maybe if you come on a Sunday and I have had enough mimosas,
Mm-mm.
I sing with the mariachi.
We'll talk about that here in a second because you are very have very something special when it comes to brunch and you really take
Yes,
it to the next level.
thank you.
I have heard people talking about it. I've seen videos all over the internet. So okay, finally you start working. Is it something you enjoy, you like? Is it just helping your
Yes.
family out? Or what does it feel like for you at
It
that time?
started out as just helping out my family.
Mm.
And then as the years went on, I went to college trying to find my way.
Was there a focus of studies for you that you wanted
I
to?
was studying just general like business management. I didn't
Hmm.
really know what I wanted to pursue in college, which led to me actually dropping out of school and coming home and working full time.
Hmm.
When I did that, I was at the restaurant 7 days a week with my uncle. He was training me the ins and outs. I already knew how to run front of the house a little bit, but
Right.
I had to learn back of the house. I had to learn the kitchen.
Mm.
So when I came back after college, I focused on really learning more of how to run a kitchen.
Mm.
So that's when I really became more well-rounded in the sense of now I know and understand all of the moving parts of what it takes to run a restaurant.
So when you say run the kitchen, many people were seeing Hell's Kitchen and things like that. I don't think it's like that, but in a
It
sense,
can be.
it
It can
can be
get
like
that
that,
way.
right?
If you don't know what's expected back there or
Mm.
what the expectation is, you don't know how to correct somebody's bad habit or or bad behavior. Same thing with cleanliness. If you don't ever go back there and check and you don't tell your staff to clean, it can get to that point.
Wow.
And, whenever you're first starting out, you don't really think about it that way. You don't think about it being a well-oiled machine that's needed all the moving parts to work. You kind of think of it, oh, well, as long as the service is good, everything will be okay. That's not true. You want to make sure there's all the elements are working cohesively in order to really to build a business up.
When did it click for you as to all of a sudden, like, you know the front, you know the back, and all of a sudden, like, oh.
I love telling this story, by the way.
Okay, go ahead, tell me.
So I wasn't a very loud leader before. I was more of a lead by example type person. And if you want it done right, you do it yourself type of person. One day, I remember I was working a shift in the restaurant, and all of my wait staff, all my servers were watching a YouTube video in the back. And I was by myself. The restaurant was full. And for the first time, something clicked in me, something sparked. I went to the back, I grabbed all my wait staff, and I kind of yelled at them for the first time, and they were all like, oh my God, she's never yelled at us. She's, like, we need to do our work, And ever since then, I obviously afterwards, I apologized for the way that I spoke to them, but being a 22-year-old, you're still learning how to, you have to find a way for people to respect you. I was working with people that were way older than me.
So you want to think about your leadership style going forward,
Correct.
how to communicate properly.
And that's when it clicked for me, is when I decided I am a leader. I need to act like one. So little by little, I just kind of started thinking back and remembering all of the managers I've worked with in the past, taking the good from them and the bad learning from that.
Was there any other like videos, YouTube videos, leadership stuff? There's a bunch of self-help things like that.
It was all from experience. It was all from experience. I luckily, had my dad, my uncle, who had been in the business for so long that they were really just like a phone call away. Hey, what do I do? They would coach me, but they did eventually say, hey, no, I'm not going to help you anymore. You need to figure this out.
Yeah.
But whenever they did that, I thrived. I felt like I didn't know if I was doing anything right because I didn't really have any validation. But at the same time, I learned and I thrived.
So when you were doing that and knowing that you don't have like a safety net anymore, like did you figure out you were good under pressure, or did you figure out, okay, if I mess it up, it's all right because I can.
Both.
Both.
But a little bit of both. I mean, I think under pressure, there's a lot of people who crack and they turn away and they say, this is not for me. It's too much. For me, I'm like, I can't sleep at night because I want to make sure it's perfect. I want to make it better. How can I do better? How can I be better? How can I make my team better? So pressure for me has always been a good thing. If somebody, my dad, my uncles, we need to get sales up here in this store, that's a challenge for me, and I'm ready to go in and tackle it.
Did you get sleep? Did you ever get sleep?
You would think so.
You got to shut it up
you
eventually.
Would think I didn't, right? But I mean, at the time I was young. I didn't have my son, so I didn't really have anything going on. I liked being at work 24/7, literally. I would actually take a nap between lunch and dinner.
Oh, wow.
So we would close after the buffet and then we reopen for dinner. We still do for Alibaba. So I always used to go in a booth and take a nap during the break just to kind of reset. And that's probably what got me through the week.
Wow. Okay, so tell me about Alibaba. Is it still around locations? And
there is still a location in Richardson.
Your family owns still?
My brother is running that one.
And then what do you expect when you visit some of those places? I know we're at La Cabrona right now, but I just want to touch of like the all the experience that you have and the things that you have.
Well, I definitely think Alibaba is a more food-focused concept.
Yeah.
it's healthy food. It's food that's cooked fresh and from scratch, and it's soul food is what I like to tell people. Same like here, we cook everything, you know, from the heart.
Right.
It's not just something that's thrown together and put on a plate and given to you. It's we really put intention behind everything that we do. And so Alibaba is very food focused. They have, you know, offering of the bar and that kind of thing, but it's very small. It's not really, it's just mainly the food that people go for.
Awesome. Now, as far as Terra, you said it was afterwards, and you also have Lebanese themed type
Yes.
Mediterranean food as well.
Yes, it's the same menu as Alibaba. The only thing is we changed the name a little bit just to rebrand at some point. I want to say it was when we opened the first Fort Worth location, just down the street. Maybe 2009, I think 2008 or 2009 is when it opened. So whenever we opened Fort Worth, we did change the name. It's very similar concept, does have a bigger bar offering. The look of it is a little bit cleaner
Right.
and nicer. But it's essentially the exact same food that we serve. It's just a little bit more with bells and whistles compared to Alibaba.
Nice. And then, of course, it closed for a little bit and reopened. They started to. When did y'all decide to make the decision to like we have to reopen this one, and then not only that, but we have to open another concept, a different concept that is part of your heritage as far as your family. So when did that decision come about for y'all?
So this concept was actually a surprise. We have always talked about it. My mom and I, my dad, we've always talked about having a Mexican restaurant. And for me, somebody who enjoys going out with friends and going out to eat, I said, I know we can do it, but we really need to do something that is going to set us apart from any other Mexican restaurant.
What sets you apart? What
Well,
immediately off the bat started thinking this is going to set us apart from everybody else around this
one
place?
thing is, you know, you can definitely find similar food in like a mom and pop shop where it's like a little place and you go probably order at a counter and they bring it to you type thing. But what sets us apart is not only do we offer that food, is we offer the atmosphere. Our decor has intention and purpose. I mean, I don't know if you noticed at the bar where we have the saltillo tile.
Yeah, there's a switch. There's a switch from the
There's a
brown
switch.
to
So
the other one.
The other one we didn't change from the original location. We wanted to, but did not change it. But this is, you know, had the funds, I would have done this all the
All
way
of it, the whole
throughout.
way.
Yeah, but it's a startup. You
So
know,
tell
it's
me
our
about
very
the
first.
tile. Why specifically did you want to go with that one?
Well, you know, this tile, we see this everywhere in Mexico. You know, anywhere you go, really, you see this saltillo tile and the talavera tile too. I mean, this is really, you know, something that one, it's beautiful.
Right.
It's really beautiful. I mean, it's got so much detail and it's just like it's just beautiful to look at. But two, it reminds you of Mexico. But not only that, you know, the alabrijes that we have painted, the murals, the Catrinas, everything, we really wanted to bring a piece of Mexico here. Because Mexico's so lively, so bright, so full of life, so many things. It's a celebration every day, it feels like. You know, it's just people are different there.
Some people might not realize the smaller details that you do, such as the plates where you serve the salsa.
Yes,
which
the
are
little molcajetes.
the
Also, so stuff
molcajetes.
like that. That's I think what sets us apart.
Even the container, this the blue looking container that
tin
are a lot of
ones.
tin ones that people might not realize, things like that. And people might not know, I don't know if I'm okay to say it, but the paintings or the portraits were made by a priest.
They were.
They were
Yes,
made by a
local
priest.
priest. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's very awesome. I mean, again, I love the device itself, the amazing pictures that you have, and everything that is like says Mexico all over the freaking place, and it's amazing. I love it. So when you guys decided to go ahead and like, okay, let's do it. The word itself, la cabrona, could be taken in a negative connotation. It's a little bit strong. It could be maybe
I
offensive
think if you're
to some
not from
people.
Mexico, it's offensive.
Okay, yeah.
But for us, I mean, me and my cousins call each other that, you know, and for us, it's a little bit of like a term of endearment almost. My mom is a very, very independent woman. She's married, okay, but still very independent. There'd be times where my dad was working really hard to give us a really beautiful life where we could be comfortable. And we didn't always have everything or have, I remember 5 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment at one point. And, you know, it's funny because my mom, she never asked for permission to do anything. She would find the means and the way to get it herself or to do it herself. And my dad, ay, esta cabrona, like she doesn't listen or she doesn't, she doesn't ask for help or she just does it herself or so that's just kind of where it came from. My mom just being so strong and such a badass. That's why he calls her that and that's why we named it that because it's all her recipes. It's everything that she's worked her whole life for.
Do you remember the exact light bulb moment when it said, "We're going with Cabrona"? There's no turning back. Like, Cabrona, Cocina Mexicana.
We were trying to use my mom's name. Her name is Rosario, but people call her Chayo. So we thought about Chayo for a really long time. That we liked that name. And she was like, "No, I don't like that name." And we were like, "We don't really have anything else that's not already taken. So what can we do? What can we?" And my dad's, well, I remember my dad just kind of like, "What about Cabrona? Because she is one, And I was like, let me think about that. And, we were thinking about El Chingon, like there's names kind of starting to come up like that. So we were like, you know what? Let's just do it, because some people don't even know what it is.
Yep, true that.
And
how many people come here and
A
ask
lot.
you, what does that mean? And what do you tell them? Oh, it just means badass.
Yeah, I do, because it does. To me, that's what it does. That's what it means. It means somebody who's really strong, a badass, independent, is going to do things on their own. It can mean other things as well, but the way I see it and the way I view the women in my family, like, they're all just really strong women.
Is this like a homage to not only your mother, but all the women in your family,
Yeah,
including yourself?
I definitely think so. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think nowadays we're in an age where women empowerment is very prominent. It's back then and probably when my mom was growing up, women probably didn't have the opportunities that we do now. So it's kind of nice to just, be all up in your face and just,
Do you think marrying somebody from a different culture helped out? Because a lot of the times we, the Mexicanos, get the machismo type. They kind of
don't
maybe
think,
suppress a little bit the
yeah.
women compared to maybe another culture.
I think they have similar men like similar situations over there, if not more. I think allá son hasta más machistas. I think so. In that part of the world. I think my dad is just an a, just another human. I think that my dad is such a loving, caring personality. He's nurturing, he hasn't always been around because he was always working really hard. Like I remember him missing birthdays and holidays and stuff, but it was to give us a life that,
How much do you take away from the way that he was as far as his work ethic and the things that he showed you that made you who you are
I think
currently?
everything. I really think I'm a good 50-50 of both of my
Wow.
parents. My mom the house was always kept up. Laundry was clean, 3 meals a day cooked by her. And dad was away at work, providing for the family. Made sure we weren't ever missing a single thing. If we needed something, we needed money, he started his side hustles, selling cars, selling watches, whatever it is, to buy us a house, to get us whatever, to go on vacation. There was a lot of things that, I saw him even sacrifice. I mean, your parents sacrifice a lot of stuff. Maybe we don't know it as kids, but as adults, we know that they sacrifice a lot to be able to give to their kids. And for me, when I decided to pursue this career, one, I didn't want all of my dad's hard work to be for nothing. he could have sold it. He could have given it to somebody else, and who knows what it would have became or what would have happened to it. But by me choosing to stay in the business and to continue on and hopefully try to make it better, it's, it's kind of like his legacy is going to continue to live on. My grandmother's legacy is still alive because we're still here as a family running the show. It still has the same storyline from the beginning. And it's just a continuation of that. And I think that when I decided to come in, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it wasn't going to be, oh, I can just go in whenever I want and, things are going to work out on its own. I knew that wasn't going to be the case because I worked alongside my uncle. He basically was like, no, you need to come here 7 days a week. What else do you have to do? And I was like,
I mean, like a bunch of stuff,
I
travel,
don't have a
go see
life.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
like I
mean,
guess I don't have to have a life. But honestly, it wasn't just my parents. It was even my uncle and my grandmother. My grandmother was in the kitchen at her restaurant till the day she died.
oh wow.
I mean, it was just watching them all their life sacrifice everything to give to this business. I would say that I'm a little bit more balanced now because I don't want to be burnt out by the time I'm 50 like they were.
Yeah.
So I do give myself time now, and I have managers at all the locations that they take care of what they need to take care of. I try to let them do their job and not micromanage because in reality this business is all the time. It's not just Monday through.
Yeah, one thing that a lot of our Latinos, Mexicanos deal with is the part of as an entrepreneur to be able to delegate and have the trust that they'll be able to do it. Did you ever had that battle with yourself in regards to like having to do that?
100%. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of patience, a lot, because I think delegating is one thing, but if you don't follow up and make sure that they do what they're supposed to, then, what's the point of even telling them to do it?
Yeah.
Might as well just go do it yourself.
I heard this saying. I remember where I picked it up. One of my managers said, "Trust but verified."
Yeah,
Like trust
exactly.
them, but like
But go make sure.
go
Yeah.
make sure that it's done.
And you have to do that. It's a
That's true.
process. It's not just delegate your job to people who are in the right place. It's not even that easy. I, as a team leader, as somebody who is in charge, I have to be able to recognize people's strengths and weaknesses. And so, for example, if I know one of my workers, she's can't multitask, I'm not going to delegate a task for her that involves multitasking. I'm going to delegate it to somebody I know who can do it well. So that's kind of another part of it. It's choosing the right person to delegate it to. So it's really, you have to know your employees, you have to know who you're working alongside,
Yeah.
to know their capabilities, to be able to do that effectively.
Do you think they ever wonder how come she's asking me too many questions, or how come she's always watching me? They don't realize that they're
I
studying
think I do
behind.
it in like a smiling way, so they don't even realize that I'm just trying to figure them out. And they're just like, "Oh, she's so sweet. She's just trying to get to know me."
You seem very nice. I've never been under you as a boss, but you seem like very nice. But I've seen just
My kitchen crew gets the worst end of it
oh,
because I just have high expectations.
gotta come out quick.
Yeah, well, not even just quick. It's got to come out right. You're
Right.
feeding people. Like that to me is a big deal.
Yeah, I've seen just a few things that I've seen here right before we started filming. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It clicks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the COO of the.
COO.
So whenever you started, you were very intentional, even on the location itself, right? Or why did you want it to be in this area specifically?
Well, when we got invited, Tara actually got invited to be open across the street by the landlord. And when we got invited, obviously, when we were first here, this whole area was something completely different. It transformed into more of a bar scene. Now all the bars are closed. So our vision has always been to kind of bring it back to what it was back then. Shopping, dining, family friendly, it's anybody can come here.
clubbing too
No,
later on?
we don't want to bring that back, unfortunately. I just think that, if you think back to whenever the Terra was on the corner, like the whole street was always full. People walking around, we had 4, 5, 6 different restaurants on the block, different retail opportunities. So there was definitely, you know, that sense of community here. When bars started opening up, I think that's a big turnoff to those families. And it got to the point where it did affected business a lot. I mean, just over the weekend, people will leave their cars parked overnight in the garage because they would get drunk and probably Uber home. And you would get here on a Sunday morning and
No
there's
parking
nowhere to
for the
park.
clientele.
So you lose. I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, I know I would get frustrated with parking and leave. And I'm not going to say the parking is perfect now, but we're on the way to trying to fix things. At least we're being proactive and listening to concerns and trying to make things better.
So you hear those stuff from like your regulars or people that come and
Correct.
visit if you hear
Mhm.
something about like the parking or
Yes.
whatever, and all of a sudden you try to make it better?
I
Do you
do.
work closely with maybe the city or the landlord or anybody around this area
The
to be able to
landlord
improve that?
mostly, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a parking company they've hired. So there's a couple things like the parking for lunchtime for especially for Terra, but for anywhere. I mean, people have jobs. They have to get back to their jobs. You know. So it's like really to me, I was like, why do we have to validate their parking during lunch? Let them come in, enjoy their lunch for a couple hours, go back to whatever they need to do. So actually now at the 2 garages closest to us, 7 days a week before 4 p.m., if you're parked for less than 2 hours, you actually don't even have to scan or validate. So it's something that's not advertised because obviously their parking company probably doesn't want people to know that it's free parking.
Yeah, I don't think the defeats the purpose, their purpose at least.
Correct. But
Yeah.
at least for me, I'm doing something for my patrons that will at least, they feel comfortable coming back. Because I do understand that convenience
It
is
is
a
a
big
turn.
thing.
It is a turn away as far as like if there's not parking, then you
Mhm.
can't go. Sometimes people are like, oh, it looks busy. It should be good. And
Yeah.
other people are like, nah, I'm not. I don't have the patience. I'm gone.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why. Okay,
Exactly.
so now that you decided the name, and then now you start working on from the time you decided the name to what you're gonna have on the menu. How long did it take for you to actually open the doors?
We signed a letter of intent in December before we opened. So it would have
23.
yes.
Okay.
We opened in September 2024. So we made it happen in about 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as far as the menu, that it took intensive back and forth to be able to narrow it down, because the menu is not super
Def-
overwhelming, right?
Right, and that was really important for me
Why is
because I feel like you can go to a lot of Mexican restaurants and you have a whole book of stuff and they serve everything, which is great because a lot of stuff has similar ingredients, you know? But I wanted to really put our best foot forward. And that's why the menu is the way it is.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make sure that it doesn't matter what you got, there's something for everybody on the menu based on whatever protein preference you like or main dish preference you like. But I wanted to make sure that everything that was on the menu is something we knew how to execute perfectly. And so what we did was I thought of all of the plates that my mom made for us growing up that were maybe a little bit more labor intensive and took her all day to make. And that's kind of what we put on the menu because now you have a kitchen crew to help you do all of that stuff. So yeah, and I think her little beans that she serves when you first sit down, the little frijoles con veneno is what we call it, which is our refried beans with asado de puerco over the top. So the asado de puerco she used to make growing up all the time. And that's just nostalgic for me. I love the asado de puerco. But whenever we bring that out to the tables, people are like so intrigued by it. you know, they expect the salsa and the chips, but now you brought them a whole new thing that
Wait a minute, it's
you're
a curve.
introducing them to
Here's a
something
curve.
new,
What's going on?
exciting, and it's a little taster of what's little preview of the menu. You can get that on the menu if you like it that much, you know. So that was kind of the intention behind choosing the items on the menu, and it is going to change. So we did the menu super quick because we had to open and get something out. So whenever there's going to be some new additions coming up soon after the new year, hopefully. Awesome. We're going to add a few more dishes. So definitely it'll be worth, you know, coming to try it. If you already like to come here, there's going to be some new stuff for you to try.
Extra stuff for you to like.
Yes,
so
yes.
you do have a great looking patio with the papel
Yes.
picado. Sometimes you have music, but not too wild or not. You stop that.
We always play music throughout the restaurant, but on Sundays when the mariachi's here, the mariachi floats around the restaurant. So they'll go from the patio to the main dining room to the bar area. They'll sing happy birthday for you if you request. Nice. So that's normally when we have the live performance. And then there's been other occasions here and there. I think we did it on Independence Day, Mexican Independence Day, September 16th. We had mariachi. I think it was, you know, just a random weekday.
So you did something very particular with Cinco de Mayo.
I
In
did.
addition to the ribbon cutting,
Yes.
you also had a market. Why was it important for you to be able to support some of the vendors, the local vendors that, you know, sometimes people might not even open their space to be able to do something? Why was it important for you?
So the idea behind that, I really thought about my childhood and when we would go to Barrio Antiguo and you see all the vendors. I mean, granted, they're on a little table with whatever handmade item they have. But to me, that's just such a, you know, that's such a big support to your local community. And that was really important to me because one, you know, it was something that was close to home. It's like we do this. We do flea markets all the time in Mexico with handmade stuff. Or two, you know, I just wanted to have a place for the Latino community to gather too. You know, I know there's all different kinds of things and events that go on, but I had ballet folklorico performing, kind of similar, I think, what to Sundance Square does. I'm not sure if they do it for Dia de or for Cinco de Mayo, but they do for Dia de los Muertos.
I believe they have
Okay,
some. Yeah.
so we did something.
I could be wrong too and be lying over here, but I think they do.
We'll need to fact check that. But no, they do something.
In the comments.
They do something similar. I didn't actually never gone to any of that when I decided to do that here. I kind of just put it together, became a member of the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber, who put me in contact with Mariah with Cultura Markets. So working with her has been phenomenal. She's really amazing. She's organizes all of the vendors out there for me, which is great. I can just focus on the entertainment part and the marketing part of getting people out here. But also, you know, I always want to make sure those kinds of things are successful because I want to create that kind of stuff to be annual events.
Y'all had a great turnout.
We did.
I've seen a few videos and it was quite a bit of traffic.
Yeah, my dad was so surprised. He was not expecting, you know, the whole street to be full of people.
It was full of people.
Yes.
Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. So the moment that you are about to open the doors, do you do a soft opening for a few people? You did. How did that go? And
we did two versions of the soft opening. Two versions. We did a tasting dinner for invited guests. We invited people that were walking by the street and asked, when are we opening? So they would literally walk by, and as we were working in here on getting this place ready, we invited some of those. We invited just local reporters, friends, family. So we kind of invited about 150-ish people, and probably about 100 came. And we offered a tasting menu. So we brought them little portions of everything to try. So that was one of them. And then the second soft opening was a buffet. It was like our Sunday buffet.
Was it on a Sunday?
It was on a Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So we did one on a Friday night, and then we did a Sunday brunch buffet as our like soft opening / grand opening.
Expand on the Sunday because the menu of the buffet, because not only that, but you have the flyer of what is it called? The drinks with the flights. I think
We
that's
have
what
a
it's
lot of
called.
stuff on
Yeah, a lot of
Sundays.
stuff.
Yeah, Sundays.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, Sundays we do a brunch buffet. So it's all you can eat. You get a soft drink or iced tea included in the price. So you can come in, you get appetizers, main entrees, taco fillings, salsa bar, desserts, everything is included. I mean, we have menudo pozole every Sunday. We'll have
Menudo and pozole on the menu, on the buffet.
on the buffet
Wow.
every Sunday. You'll have beans. You can make your own elote station. We have all different kinds of fillings for tacos, fresh handmade tortillas, corn and flour. We have a salsa bar with all kinds of homemade salsas, fresh guacamole, fresh pico de gallo. We even put ceviche, aguachile, and shrimp cocktail on the menu,
On the menu for
on
the
the buffet.
buffet.
And then in addition to that, you have a whole variety of desserts. So we get flan, tres leches, two kinds. We do the chocolate abuelita tres leches and just the traditional.
Choco flan.
We don't make choco flan every Sunday, but she does do specialties sometimes. So she always makes fresas con crema and mousse de mango. So just like little kind of parfait type desserts. Arroz con leche every Sunday. Every Sunday we have that stuff.
Man, you hear that? Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, every Sunday. And then the mariachi comes. And then we also have a bunch of drink specials too. So if you want to come in and get some mimosas, we have an $18 bottle of champagne and it'll come with the juices already. We
The
have
flight. That's the one
Yes.
that I thought in mind earlier. You also have some
We do.
flights. I don't
We
even
do.
know what
We
that is,
have
but the
we
flight is
have
like a drink.
tequila flights. Yep. And we have we're gonna be coming up with some more stuff too soon. But yeah, we have all different kinds of special. Micheladas are on special too on Sundays.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of influencers, social media personalities, reports, articles that have been written out before you even open and after you open. How was the reception of the community around here for y'all?
I mean, I couldn't ask for a better year, to be completely honest. I think that we didn't have an expectation of what was going to happen because we didn't know how people would, like the food, like the service, like what we do, like the drinks even. But I really am so grateful for all of our patrons because this has been such an incredible year. I couldn't even, fathom being this, this going so well this early on.
Yes.
In my head, I was really anticipating it's going to take a couple years to build, regular customers.
Yeah.
Because usually that's what it is.
You say the word patron, and I heard you use it a few times, and not customers or usual casuals, whatever. Why that particular word is like something that you like to?
More, I don't know. It's they are the ones who are, support the business.
Yeah.
It's not just a customer can sound so transactional to me. And I don't I like to we're not in it's not a transactional business we're in the hospitality business.
Yeah.
So that's really important to me. There's a distinct difference between somebody coming in just to purchase something, which would I consider a customer, versus somebody coming in to enjoy your service, enjoy your food, enjoy your drinks. That's something that I think that,
I can see you're passionate about it because you lean forward. So
yeah,
I'm like,
no, it is.
wanna
I
make
mean,
sure
they
this,
really,
yeah.
I value every single person that walks through that door because, that's what supports this and lets us keep going.
There's won or nominated for some awards or
We
won?
won one. I can't remember which one it was.
You were nominated for
We were
Chef
nominated
too.
for a couple. I was.
Individually, you
Yes,
were.
I was nominated for something. I know we were nominated for Best Atmosphere, I think, and I want to say that was Culture Map. I don't remember. We did do the Culture Map Awards for both actually Terra and La Cabrona.
Wow.
So we did do that. We had a little table set up and people came by, and I think we lost to Teddy Wong's. I don't remember. I think it might have been like Best New Restaurant or something like that.
Yeah.
Might have been Tara that was involved for Best New Restaurant. I have to go back.
How did it feel just within your first year to be able to be like somebody's really looking into this?
Yeah, we were recognized. It was kind of surreal. I mean, I just wasn't expecting it this early on, like I said. I thought it was going to take us a couple of years to really, get a name out there for ourselves. It felt great. I mean, it just validated everything that I have been working up to this point, because even though I've done this my whole life pretty much, and I've, worked in restaurants, it's still nice to know that you're recognized, and it feels like, okay, you are doing something right and you chose the right path to be in. So that's, it felt nice. It felt really good. Made me feel like the work I was doing was, it was good work. I'm doing my job.
Besides the Instagrammable moments of the place, because it has so many amazing art that people can take, and it's very recognizable. There's not other places like that. Is that kind of sort of like I can show my culture and I can show what the world is like now? Everybody on Instagram taking the nice videos. I need to be able to have something that people can also go like a destination, because there's a particular difference between a place that you go eat and a destination. And a destination place way different. You're already gonna have people from all over the place coming to see you, just particularly for what you have going on here, not just because you happen to be a restaurant that they looked up and they just going over
I
there,
have people
right?
that drive from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Wow.
I mean, I'm sure there's people that come from other places, but I know people will drive to come eat here.
Well, was that the idea whenever you were
It
getting
was,
anything to create a
yes, I think
destination?
so. Yeah, I think for me, you know, somebody who's my age, when I go somewhere, I'm like, oh, this place is so cute, and I want to start documenting where I am. I think it's really important because now I, as a business owner, am not marketing my business. Other people are marketing my business for me.
Yeah.
And it's more of a raw and honest, and it's more of what's the shoot, forgot of the word I needed to use.
More memorable
No, more so like
or genuine?
it's somebody else's like opinion. If I say something about my business,
It's your
it's
business. You're
my
gonna say the
business. Of
best
course,
thing
I'm
ever,
biased. Yeah,
right?
exactly. But if somebody else's testimony, that's what that's what I was trying to find. So if it's somebody else's testimony,
Yeah.
hey, I went here, it's super cute, the food is good, the drinks are good, that has more value than mine.
As much as we always try to please everybody and make sure everybody likes everything, there's always a few people that just for whatever reason you can't convince them. I mean, hay gente que no le gusta el dinero for whatever reason. But whenever people like that, you see things, comments, whatever the case, what is your approach to take it? Like, do you let your social media person take it? Do you talk about it? How are we going to address?
She sends me all the reviews. So she sends me all the reviews. When I know something is off, like if it's a comment about how something tastes, the first thing I do is I go back there and I taste it. And I'm like, is this right? I've been eating my mom's cooking my whole life. I know exactly what it's supposed to taste like. So if somebody says, hey, is this the way it's supposed to taste, or it's too spicy, too salty, whatever, first thing I do is I go back there myself and I try it. If it's a comment on service, I always try and correct the behavior right away. I find out who the server was, what it was that went wrong, and I correct the behavior. If it's something they're just unsatisfied with, whatever it may be, there's times where I will reach out to the customer personally. I do my own research. I talk to my managers. I talk to the customer. I get both sides of the story. And even if I feel like we were the ones in the right and they're the ones in the wrong, whatever I have to do to make it right, I will do it.
Do you ever fire customers, customers, not patrons, because that's again, it just depending.
Either or, yeah. I have refused service before in the past. A couple people, maybe one person here, maybe, and over there at Terra a lot. At Alibaba a lot, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it is your location, and offering
And with reason.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
not just, oh, I don't like you, you can't come eat here. No, 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 no. I mean, it was, you know, for a reason, you know, they and I say it in the most polite way possible. I'm really sorry I can't serve you today and I can't have you come back here because for whatever reason, you know. Um yeah, I haven't really had that issue here too much.
That's great.
But yes, Sundays get rowdy though.
Yeah, so you have an amazing place. Again, the vibes, the food. You've seen people coming to do reviews, TikTokers, YouTubers, you name it. Shout out to my boy Julio the Fudio. He was also here with his wife,
Thank you.
making some content with his wife. Thoroughly enjoyed everything that he had going on. Did a prayer because that's his thing, and he's traveling. But he was one of the ones that I've seen that I was like, wow, it's pretty neat that he took his time to be able to come and really honest review as much as possible. And that's how I knew some of the things that you kind of like small little details. I'm like, huh, they do that exactly that. All right, we're running short on time. We're gonna wrap the interview, but we are gonna have something very special. We're gonna be going to the kitchen here. Before then, we're gonna see some ingredients. But tell me what we're gonna do here shortly. We're gonna talk about the ingredients, and then we're gonna go to the kitchen and make what?
Buñuelos,
Uh-huh.
and we already made the champurrado, but we're gonna kind of explain how it's made.
Y estamos aquí con la chef de los pasteles. We are here with Anix Rodriguez, the chef of pastry. She's going to walk us through what we're going to do today. So, hola, muchísimo gusto otra vez.
Hola.
Nos vas a decir un poquito de lo que tenemos aquí, qué vamos a hacer. ¿Cuál es la bebida que estamos preparando el día de hoy?
Hoy estamos preparando una bebida tradicional en las Navidades,
Okay.
lo que es el champurrado.
El champurrado.
Sí, el champurrado es es como una bebida
Ajá,
típica de México.
claro que sí.
Ajá. Entonces, para prepararlo necesitamos leche
Okay.
maseca previamente tatemada, chocolate abuelita, piloncillo, canela, anís estrella y azúcar morena.
Okay, so what we're making right here is a very traditional Christmas around the holidays with champurrado. Now, you can make it with the abuelita. Of course, you have the masa, milk. The piloncillo is kind of like sugar that is crystallized, anise, and also cinnamon and brown sugar. And you make it into this beautiful brown concoction and it tastes amazing. Tú ya tienes un año preparando lo que es pastelitos para aquí, para la Cabrona, ¿verdad?
Sí, ya
Ok.
tengo aproximadamente año y medio y preparo, o sea, toda clase de comida, pero principalmente los postres.
Y ellas, si no saben, tiene un año aquí trabajando y es originaria de Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Wow, qué chido. Ok, y ahora seguimos con esta área. We're gonna shift this way. Ok. Entonces ahora vamos a hacer lo que se llaman los buñuelos. We're gonna make what's called buñuelos, another seasonal dish, very traditional in Mexico. People have their own recipes, but this is the one that we're doing today. Hoy tenemos buñuelos, una receta específica. Explícanos exactamente qué vamos a usar para los buñuelos.
Bueno, para los buñuelos vamos a utilizar harina, huevos, vainilla, manteca vegetal, polvo para hornear, azúcar, una tacita de agua tibia y una pizca de sal.
So warm water, salt, sugar,
Sí.
sugar and salt,
Ujú.
both. This is going to be what's called the vegetable, not lard, but vegetable. Of course, we have some baking powder, vanilla, flour, eggs, and we're going to make this beautiful little, I don't know, como son pastelitos o no son, no, ¿verdad? Pues están dulces, ¿verdad? Les ponen el azúcar, pero no es
Sí,
considerado.
azúcar con canela.
Okay, so cinnamon and sugar for both of those. So now you've seen all the ingredients that we have here. Now we're gonna go into the kitchen and she's gonna kind of walk us through. I'm gonna talk to her and then I'm just gonna also kind of explain to what you have to do. And we'll be right back. We're gonna make buñuelos only. This one's already made. All you gotta do is throw everything in the pot and that's it. Just stir it up, okay? So we'll be right back.
Voy a calentar esto. para que se me caliente. Bueno, acá tenemos la masa con los ingredientes que te presenté antes. Hacemos la masa, hacemos las bolitas, o sea, como la persona lo quiera. Si lo quiere grande, la quiere pequeña, la extiende de la manera deseada. Entonces aquí pues hicimos unos pequeños.
So what we have now is all the ingredients you saw earlier put into this little disc. So you can make it as big as you want or small as you want. So now it's flat. This is the one that we're gonna do now. And what she's gonna do is she already put the pot of oil because you have to cook it in the oil. So we're gonna have to do that part. So, ¿qué sigue después de esto?
Entonces preparamos azúcar con canela.
She already prepared sugar with cinnamon, which is gonna go on top once this delicious thing is already cooked on the oil.
Entonces, cuando el aceite ya esté caliente, procedemos.
So when the oil is hot, bien caliente,
No, temperatura media.
medium hot, this is what you're going for as far as the heat. Not super hot, but medium hot. So just checking right now, the temperature needs a little bit more. And we're literally in the middle of the kitchen. We are in the kitchen.
Entonces, cuando ya esté bien calientito el aceite, vamos a esperar un momentico para que veas el proceso.
We wait just a couple more minutes. You just try to test the fire and the heatness of the oil. Right now, waiting a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna start cooking it. As you can tell, they look like a disc, like a tortilla, and it's not like a flour tortilla in sense. It's different. It's got a different texture because of all the ingredients that he had, and it just comes out great as far as like a nice crispy dessert. And again, during the holidays, it's very common for you to have this in a lot of Mexican family households. If you are not Mexicano, but you are from another place, please let us know if you have this or something similar. ¿En Venezuela se comen estos buñuelos o no se conoce nada como este platillo?
Sí comemos esto, pero lo conocemos como tostada, no como
Tostada.
Tostadas,
Okay,
tostadas dulces.
In Venezuela, they have this dish right here, but they call it tostada, dulce. And our tostadas are like the salty tostadas, of course. And they're not flat tacos. They're not flat tacos. So start trying to change our recipes, our freaking dishes. It's a tostada. So stop it, whoever that girl on TikTok is. I swear, I'm gonna find you. Una muchacha que viene en internet dice que descubrió tacos planos y es una tostada. Y era americana y quisiéndonos robar la cultura, digo, es una tostada desde hace Okay, as you can tell, it's getting there, getting nice and crispy. ¿Qué más nos puedes decir? Está un poquito, tiene que tener una consistencia cabecita, tostada.
Sí, tiene que quedar
dorada.
Sí, un ámbar oscurito, pero muy tostadito.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have it very toasty. You'll see here the colors once it comes out. Tienes que mantenerla presionada un poquito.
Sí.
So she has to press on it with the tongs to try to make sure it just doesn't come like into a U. And now she's turning it to the other side and just keep frying over and over, pressing a little bit, not too hard. Seguimos presionando y tostando.
En Venezuela también tomamos el champurrado, pero allá lo conocemos es como fororo.
¿Cómo?
Fororo.
Fororo. So, champurrado en Venezuela es fororo. And es casi igual, los mismos ingredientes.
Sí, pero allá ya viene procesado y lo venden. Pero acá en el restaurante lo preparamos desde el principio,
So, Venezuela fororo is already made. You don't have to make it, but a lot of us, our recipe Mexicanos, we usually every year we do it, and I can't wait to try some whenever I get to try some because it's delicious. I highly recommend it. Okay, ya mero tenemos la consistencia bien tostadita. We almost have the consistency real nice and crispy. Ya tenemos casi el colorcito que estamos buscando. Un poquito más. Okay, so just a little bit more as far as the coloring goes. Again, you want it nice and toasty, not burnt.
Tenemos que tener la temperatura medio porque le ponemos muy alto, se nos quema y no nos va a quedar tan crujiente.
It is very imperative to have a medium heat and not too hot because if you do, you're going to burn it. So look, as you can tell, the nice, beautiful brown color on it. And now what we're gonna do is, ¿qué vamos a hacer después?
Vamos a ponerla en azúcar y en la canela.
¿Todavía calientito?
Sí, calientita.
As soon as it comes out, you dry all the oil and it's warm as it can be. You're gonna go ahead and put the cinnamon and the sugar all over it as it's still warm and put it all over the place. All over it because it's just part of the goodness, part of the sweets. This is a sweet treat. This is not a salty. This is not none of that. This is warm. This is sugary. And this is what it looks like. And this is now a finished buñuelo. We started from this right here, and now we ended up with this beautiful brown color, not burned. Again, medium heat with the sugar, gives it a nice little decoration on top of it, and now it's ready to be consumed. Deja que se enfríe un poquito. Let it cool down a little bit before you enjoy it. Grab yourself your champurrado and please enjoy yourself a beautiful buñuelo. Muchísimas gracias por enseñarnos cómo se prepara un buñuelo. Ya nos habías explicado lo que es los ingredientes. You explained to us what all the ingredients now, and now we have the finished product. El producto final. Muchísimas gracias. Alrighty, so this was the kitchen version of a holiday special that we have for the podcast itself. We have a special episode, special locations. So we'll be right back. We're closing it out very soon. So on to the next. Okay, so before I let you go, tell me all the social media. Where can people find you at? I don't know if you care to people follow you personally or La Cabrona, but just tell me all the or Tara también, all the social medias.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, on Instagram you can find us as well as Facebook. We have at La Cabrona Cocina Mexicana. It's a mouthful. And then at Terra Mediterranean as well. Same thing if you just look us up on Facebook, give us a follow, give us a, give us a like. Yeah, and we usually post like updates, whether we have events going on Facebook. We always post our events on Facebook. So whenever we did the street closures, we will post those events on our Facebook event pages. Instagram, we're not super active on it right now, but you can still follow. You'll still be able to see updates. We do post stories if there's ever any changes in regarding to hours, private events, stuff like that, because people will rent out the whole restaurant.
Oh, wow. So you have the option to rent out the entire restaurant if you wanted to.
I've done a wedding here.
And then there's private areas.
This is a private room as well, yeah.
A private room that you can rent out or the entire restaurant.
And you can do all of that on my website, lacabrona.com. You can go on the private dining inquiry page and you can get information there.
And we'll put the location and the website and everything on the description también. Saludos, any saludos for anybody that you want to give a saludo? I know there's a gazillion people, but ones that deserve some flowers and you want to give them a shout out.
Yeah, I think I will start by the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber and Erica Garza and Laura Sanchez Kincaid. I think both of them, and Isabel too. Isabel. Those three ladies have been really amazing to work with, and they've been such a big support. And so very thankful to them. Definitely thankful to Moody and Kathy, our landlords, because they gave us a shot and, took a risk on a brand new idea and concept, and it paid off. So definitely them, and then to my team, everybody who's here working. My uncle is our GM, my cousin is our main bar manager. So without my family and without everybody here, my mom, my dad, this wouldn't be possible. So I think a big thank you to them. And then one more, the man upstairs, God himself, he put this path down for me, and all I could do is follow it and live through him and live for him, and that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Some people might find it challenging to work with family, depending, you know what I mean, the dynamic. For you, how's it been working with the family? Is it all sunshine and rainbows?
It's not.
Or sometimes
It's not. There's definitely moments where we want to rip each other's heads apart. No, not that bad. But no, it definitely becomes challenging in the sense that, there was a time where you sometimes you bring work home, and that's really unhealthy. But we've figured out a balance. At home we don't talk about work anymore. We focus on work. There are times where, yes, we probably get a little loud with each other. As my mom and her brother do, they're siblings. Me and my mom are going to naturally crash too. My brothers also work alongside me as well. So I mean, but at the end of the day, I feel more supported by having them. I feel like there's more trust by having family that, you know, that you're close to. So there is that piece of mind working with family. And more than anything, like you do it for each other. You know, it's not just I'm working for myself. It's you're working for your mom, your dad, your brother, you know, and then for future generations to come too.
Yes, absolutely. What is an important lesson that you learned during the business that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else out? What would that be?
Mm. I would just, you know, I think to tell my younger self is that it's okay not to know everything and it's okay not to know what's coming next, but just putting your faith in God and working hard in whatever you are doing, you know, the results are going to come on their own. Things are going to naturally happen for you if you just kind of focus on yourself and being a good person and working hard and whatever it is you decide to do, you know, you can be successful. Just putting your mind to it. So, you know, my younger self was very, you know, confused. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know. I thought I could do many things. And when I finally put my head down and said, no, this is what I'm going to do, it ended up all working out.
Do you think this, what you're doing currently, is your calling, or are you still somewhat young, seeking to find out what that is?
I think this is it for me. I think for me, I do have more plans for the future, but it all involves hospitality. It all involves having a restaurant. But yeah, eventually, you know, it would just be nice to have my own concept, and I'm still working on my craft. I still need to become a better chef like my parents, and I'm learning. I'm working on it. I definitely, you know, have practiced a long time, my whole life. Being the only girl in my family, my mom would always make me help her in the kitchen. So I know how to make all the staples, all the basic stuff. Her rice, her beans, you know, when she makes tinga, I know how to do that. I know how to make tortillas. I know how to do all this, all the simple stuff. But the more complex things, I need more practice, and I want to spend more time, you know, perfecting that stuff so I can be more well-rounded as a chef.
Can't wait to see it. Hopefully, get invited to the
Yes.
private tasting of the new concept whenever you're ready. So, sometime throughout my day or during my week or month, say something along the lines of "Not immortal, I am mortal, and I will die one day." Not to scare me, terrify me, but it's more of a reality in life, right? We're not here forever. With that, I wish you a very long, prosperous life. After everything's said and done, what do you want people to think and feel about your life?
You know, I think I just, as long as people know that, you know, I I care deeply about everybody else and the community, and just I've always been love to give, you know. If I see somebody who needs, I will give them the clothes on my back if I have to. And so I think after I'm gone, I just would like people to remember me as somebody who was just like such a sweet, caring person, and also worked really hard to achieve her dreams. And you know, because as a little girl, you know, sometimes the expectation is, oh, just get married, like you'll be fine. And you know, for me, I was like, that's not enough for me to, you know, just be okay. Like I don't want to depend on somebody else to for me to be able to live my life. You know, I wanted to make sure I knew myself and I had control over my life. You know, until you choose to be with somebody and you choose your plan or whatever, your family. But it's, you know, just I don't know. That's a good question. I never really thought about that, but I think I just would want people to know that, you know, if she followed her dreams, she, you know, stuck to her roots along the way, you know, stuck by her family, you know. I think that that to me is important.
It's a deep question.
It is. It's not something that can just be, you know,
First time somebody
answered
asked,
on the fly.
first time I heard that question asked, and I asked to myself, like I cried.
Yeah,
I cried because like I couldn't like
yeah.
it felt overwhelming to be able to answer the things that like if I was to leave now, what would happen?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is exactly what I wouldn't mind leaving, doing, if this is was it. You know what I mean?
As long as I die doing what I love, I think that, you know, the rest, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Leena, again, from the first time I met you, when I came in to do the ribbon cutting with the chamber, to seeing how nice you were, how you showed me around. And I don't know if you remember, but I remember you were taking me to here and there and checking me out. Told me the story about the father that painted and stuff like that. And just in general, I thought it was pretty cool. And then just learning a little bit about the articles that are out there about you and the things that you've done and how long you've been doing it now, just talking to you. Without a doubt, you are a global land factor. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember to subscribe to hear more amazing stories, more amazing Latinos shaping this United States with the things that they bring, their culture, highlight an amazing place like this. And remember, we are just like you. We are people. We are the spice and flavor in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time.